Hello, fellow patriots. As Adam said, I'm a small business owner, and I'm concerned about the economy. My business, like many others, has been affected by it. We've all heard about the war on drugs and the war on terror, but there is another war raging right now. This war will have a profound effect on your life, your children's lives, and the lives of generations to come. It's the war on economic freedom. Watching the mainstream media coverage of the economy, I'm constantly frustrated. The so-called economic experts all seem to have the same philosophy. They blame free market capitalism and tell us that government must pass more laws, spend more money, and take even more control of our economy. These experts call their philosophy Keynesian economics. Whatever you call the concept, it means government thinks we're too stupid to run the economy. We need them to run it for us. Most mainstream media news isn't really news. It's more like propaganda. We are being conditioned to expect government to control every aspect of our lives. The critical part of this issue, rarely discussed, is that economic freedom is one of the most essential freedoms that Americans have. Freedom of choice in the marketplace is the reason Americans have the highest standard of living the world has ever known. That great accomplishment is being destroyed right before our eyes. Politicians and the media want you to blame the free market. They tell you that free market capitalism is the problem. It's not true. How can something be the cause when it doesn't exist? True free market capitalism hasn't been a dominant system in America for decades. What we really have is a government-managed economy, and that's what's failing. Politicians and the media tell us more control by the federal government is the answer. They are wrong. The solution is freedom. The government controls the economy through regulation. Without exception, government regulation increases the cost of everything we buy. It's a hidden tax. Government regulation limits a company's ability to pay better wages. Government regulation stifles innovation. Without innovation, American companies can't compete. That leads to fewer jobs. Government regulation has caused outsourcing. Even worse, the complete exodus of industries to other countries. It's no secret. It's getting hard to find anything made in America. Government regulation is often used to favor one company over another. Usually it's a large corporation using government to eliminate competition from a small business. The result is you and I have fewer choices. This is a very dangerous trend that is destroying our economic freedom. It leads to the perversion of capitalism known as corporatism. Many Americans mistakenly think corporatism is capitalism. Most of the media and elected officials don't understand the difference. To put it simply, corporatism is the unholy alliance between government, large corporations, and banks. Usually they are multinational and have little regard for American sovereignty. Corporatism is a key component of socialism. It's not a new problem. The founding fathers referred to an economy controlled by government as mercantilism. One of the major reasons for the American Revolution was to escape British mercantilism. The colonists resented the British Empire's punitive taxes and regulations. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Their resources were taken for the good of the empire at the expense of the colonists. Our founding fathers knew that a free market was essential for us to be a free people. America was a free market capitalist country for 137 years and was very prosperous. However, there were those who wanted to return to mercantilism. Unfortunately, in 1913, they took control of our government. That year, two critical events changed America. A group of industrialists and big bankers rammed the Federal Reserve Act through Congress. It gave control of our monetary system to a cartel of private bankers. That same year, the income tax was created. These two events ended true free market capitalism and started the era of state corporatism, leading America on the path towards socialism. The Federal Reserve was created for the benefit of multinational banks and corporations, not for the good of all Americans. The income tax was created so the federal government could control our wealth. Think about it. Before 1913, Americans kept 100% of their paycheck. The corporatists got away with the scam because they had taken control of most of the major newspapers. That gave them control of the media of their time. The Federal Reserve has done a great deal of harm to this country. Its policies have caused endless inflation. A dollar today is only worth about 3 cents compared to a dollar in 1913. Its destructive policies created the cycle of boom and bust. The press calls them bubbles. The Federal Reserve provides a means for government to grow in size and power, taking more of our freedom. The Federal Reserve has created a system that encourages reckless spending and malinvestment, the root cause of this recession. It was the Federal Reserve that pressured Congress for the recent bailouts. It's no accident that a large sum of the bailout money went to the banks that created the Federal Reserve. The bailouts are a perfect example of the destructive nature of corporatism. The federal government chooses who wins and who loses. It's no surprise politicians that voted for the bailout received contributions from those who got the money. The good news is we can stop the Fed. There is legislation that was introduced recently that calls for an audit of the Federal Reserve. We should know what they're doing. The bill is H.R. 1207. I urge you to call your congressman and support H.R. 1207.
All right.
Americans need to know the historic facts I have mentioned. When you look at America today, you'll understand why things have gone wrong. For those who ask, what can I do? Knowledge is the first step in bringing about reforms. Take time, learn the issues. You can't separate economic freedom from other essential freedoms. This must be understood by all Americans. The internet is a great resource for learning about the free market. With knowledge comes confidence. Then you'll be able to defend capitalism, the system of a free people. Get involved in groups like the San Antonio Tea Party and the Campaign for Liberty. Above all, don't be discouraged. It may seem like you're outnumbered, but remember, it was only a few people that started the revolution that created this great country. Founding Father Samuel Adams said, "It does not take a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority, keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men." Thank you for being here, and let's go start some brush fires of freedom.